where it stated, because I said your initial plan was inadequate in giving me, or civil defense, or the warning agency, adequate time to do a job. And your statement in there, and it is in there, that was at the time, that PGB anticipates no scenario that would not give us adequate warning time. And I thought, this got to be a joke, right? From what, and you know what geothermal. So I wrote back, rejected. And I was so glad to see this report in EPA. Version 6.3 of PGB's plan states that, quote, PGB anticipates no project-created situation which would not provide sufficient time for the civil defense agency to warn or evacuate the public as appropriate. PGB release history does not support this statement. In the past, incidents have occurred quickly and without sufficient warning to notify or evacuate the public before they were exposed to hazardous substances. According to the Civil Defense Administrator, as you know, was there at the time, incidents also have occurred in which neighbors to PGB phoned in complaints of H2S release, and PGB did not report these incidents. So let's put that back, okay? I don't know what the master plan is. I asked the governor in my last...
Just read that. The highlighted part, starting at the top.
What am I reading?
Mike Rodino's emergency response plan.
Oh, Mike, yeah. What happened to Mike, by the way, John?
He's at the top of the food chain, Harry.
Oh, yeah? This is a lot to read. At the time of the review, the PGB emergency response plan did not fully address any coordination issues between the facility and the local response agency.
Does it now?
I wouldn't read it.
Because you know.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
That's the solution right there. Oh, we're done.
A few weeks ago, my sister and I just stopped by the fire station here. And we went in, and we said, you know, we're residents here of Leilani. And we would like to know, we would like to have a copy of an emergency plan if there's a hurricane, if there's an earthquake, well, even a geothermal if something happened there. And the fireman went and got the captain. The captain came and said, you know, I don't know anything about that. Let me call Hilo. So he called the head of the fire department in Hilo, and the captain, he said, well, he's going to get back to me and I'll phone you. Well, he did. He phoned us that afternoon. And he said the captain in Hilo doesn't have any idea, but he'll try to find something and let us know.
let me clarify something.
And that was 3 weeks ago, and I said,
that's true, but that's not fair. Okay,
but I mean, it's not, they didn't know.
No, yeah, that's true, but it's not fair, and I'll explain why. Hawai'i County, I would say it openly to anybody in this world, has, at the time, the best emergency response system in the United States of America and in the world, barring none. If you question that, the French Parliament assigned someone from the Parliament to go worldwide because they, after the Southeast Asia tragedy, knew that some of their areas were not protected as far as black. His response was real simple. Go and find an area that you would like to copy, a template. They came to Hilo, Hawaii, and said, into Parliament, Hawai'i County has the best civil defense emergency response plan. Now, one more example. We had a major earthquake. When was that?
1975.
No, that's a, gee, how long were you here? I was here. No, that was 7.2. I'm talking about 6.7. Anyway, as a lot of the draw, I was in charge as mayor because the person in charge was in Honolulu. And we had a response, and a good one, immediate response, and a post-disaster response. And we were evaluated by National Magazine on Emergency Response, and they feature Hawaii. And go read it. You'll be proud of this island. including the fire station. You know what he said?
It would be, it's too bad they don't have
No,
a copy
no.
of it.
I'll explain why. They had an earthquake, and he said, Hawai'i County response. Perfect. You don't find that in emergency response anywhere. Anyone who has lived here from 1976 through 1990s, go read the Tribune Herald, and any emergency, hurricane as well as earthquake or whatever, and see if there's any criticism from the public on our failure to respond. You know why?
That's right.
We have a system that is very difficult to duplicate. We have a system called the Central Command System. One office, the Civil Defense Office. Every fireman, every fire captain, every police captain, every police officer, every public works, every state highway, every federal agency, every resort, every community association is at the coordination of the Central Agency of Hawai'i County Civil Defense. Because at the time of the incident, they will be dictated with their chief at that office what to do, when to do, how to do it. You go to their office and you will see, I don't know what's there now, it's been years since it is, you will see a control system. Then Thailand copied, by the way. And yes, it sounds like I'm bragging because I am bragging. You know, it's a beautiful system. The United States Army came to take pictures of it. You know, how do you control federal, state, county, private agencies throughout the island doing any emergency and nobody questions your authority? You know what? It's not authority. We have a basic plan and everybody follows the plan. And to make that plan work, everybody has to participate in the development of that plan. And I don't mean, and I'm not insulting the captain, I don't mean the captain or the firefighter or the driver down. I mean the administration. And they know the question you should have asked. During an emergency, where did you get your command and control from? That's what it's not there. Yeah. God, you and I go way back too, don't we?
Yeah, BC somewhere. The present civil defense chief is named Mr. Fuwata, and he led us to the county council meeting where Mr. Fuwata stated that at no time during the 1991 blowout was there any reason for evacuation. And when he said that, Harry, I almost screamed at him.
But you think you almost, you know how many times I've read things and heard things, and this is what I said in Kona. And this is before I announce, okay? And I know you won't believe me, but I didn't want to announce. I was waiting for anybody on the council or the public to call me to a meeting to ask me questions on the system. I thought, common sense will prevail. They're going to call you, Harry, you know, because they say no this, no that, or this, that, that. There was only one civil defense administrator from 1976 to 1999. That was me. Surely they know I wrote every plan because I had only one staff on the plan writing. Nobody called. So every time I heard something like that, or what you said about levels of hydrosulfide, you thought you cringed. I knew though, because I was told, why don't you call him? I knew once I call, I'm dead, because it's a political game now. And I'll tell you what I resent, and we'll end it here because it's very late and you've been listening to one man talk so long, and I appreciate it. I really totally appreciate it, because I can feel your advice, I can feel your energy. You all get up here, you can feel when people are not listening, you can feel when people are just waiting to tell you something that makes you look stupid, or I guess what you say, and I don't feel it. We had a code in 1976 when I was asked to take civil defense over because we were severely criticized, a person dying, a doctor from tsunami, no warning plan or post-impact plan. The mayor was Watayoshi. He asked me to take it over, and I told him I already got a job for next year at the college. I'm going to teach there. He said, do this. We agreed on 2 years. And his instructions were, just fix the system so nobody else dies during his watch. He wrote a letter to all the department heads, when Harry asks you something, that is an order from me. Fix their system in regards to certain things. There was a code then. There will be no political interference in the works of civil defense. And there never was. Governor on that. Except for that one geothermal plant incident, but not a response. And now all of a sudden read the paper, she's we're political football. How can I ask you to trust me if we're political football? And I'm going to ask you to decide who's telling truth and who's telling false. During an emergency, I'm going to ask you to decide that. You know you can't do that. Because we're not creating you an agency that you trust with. And you think I'm a fool? I know there's only one way to gain your trust. I don't care what. Is to do it right every time. For the best you can. Thank you.